Jai Gurudev. I am Bharani from class 8 and today I am going to talk about fossil fuels and radiocarbon dating. Let's talk about fossil fuels. Long time ago, animals and marine life which lived got buried under the layers of earth. The layers of earth were represented as imperious rock, reservoir rocks, oil, water and gas. This burial of animals formed into peat. Peat, and later with the compression of heat and some more pressure, it turned into fossil fuels. Now fossil fuels are classified into three types: solid, liquid and gas. Solid is coal. Coal is a combustible hard sedimentary rock found beneath the earth's surface. The molecular structure of coal in such a pattern that when it's burnt, it produces energy which is used in a day-to-day basis. Now let's talk about petroleum. Petroleum is a naturally occurring liquid which is found under the earth's surface as well. Petroleum is known as the most useful because it's also used for transportation and vehicles. Now let's talk about natural gas. It's known as the best form of fossil fuels because it produces very less carbon when burnt. So hence it is a very good material used for many uses like cooking, and at the same time it's used for some atomic constructions. Let's talk how these fossil fuels have been used and how did they come under such an amazing role in our day-to-day lives. In 2000 BC, it was used for fire, majorly when they found out about coal. Now afterwards they started with solar power. Then it comes under coal mining, which plays an important role till today. Then comes the first windmill to produce energy and electricity. Then coal replaces wood. Wood was the major and the original resource for burning, but now that coal has come, it produces very less pollutants in the air. Now there is geothermal power. Geothermal power is still today used because of its hundreds of volts. Then comes the first atomic bomb. The first atomic bomb was also found near the World War I. Then comes in recent use in 2017 damaged pipelines caused by flood damages. Flood was an energy that was also built up for a war but got declared as and banned in many of the countries. So henceforth this was the last damaged part of fossil fuels. I hope you could understand about fossil fuels better, and this was a small gesture to show that how fossil fuels have been very useful since ages. We must conserve this for a very long time, and it's a very renewable resource. So we must conserve it and use it wisely. Now I'm going to talk about carbon dating or C14. Carbon dating is a method where we use organic material, study it and find out how many years it has been present. Now let's understand how fossil fuels is actually done. Now, some of the neutron structure from the sun, it gets around into the atmosphere and then it combines with the nitrogen atoms. Together they form such a compound. Now this compound comes into a form of air and oxygen to our animals and plants. Now animals which eat these plants, obviously after some time they would die, and that compound molecular structure is turned this way. This is C, this is carbon, and this is hydrobenzene. Hydrobenzene together can form up a new content here. It is actually buried under the layers of earth. Now what happens is, after some time, our geologists would dig and get out some of these fossils. Here I have an example of a fossil that I collected from Geological Survey of India. Now this fossil, because it has a lot of pores, this forms the air gaps. Now when the scientists study it, they try and make such kind of molecular construction, it splits together. This also can be formed with the same molecular structure because it is split into different parts and with a lot of space. So now there are a lot of processes which is done for this. they add a little bit of benzene along with hydrocarbon chemical converter and then study it. This process has been very useful. Here, this is Taj Mahal. We all know Taj Mahal was built years ago. But how do we know it exactly at what date and what time was it built? This is because of carbon dating. Some material from the Taj Mahal was collected and studied. This material, according to how many carbons and benzenes were present, they can conclude it was relatively less a time it was built or it was built long ago. This method has helped a lot to us, including our geologists. We could study our history and so many other languages at the same time, so much information we get from it. Now here I have a diagram shows how many times an activity of C14 has done to indicate how many years a particular monument was built. Normally C14 is not very accurate. That's why we have to conclude a lot of activities with a lot of experiments. Sir William Jones was the one who also found out about carbon dating and also paid funds for the scientists to get to know more about it and educate the people. I hope this gave you an insight about carbon dating. Thank you.